I did say it yesterday, didn't I? That it would be just my luck that Dear David would have some updates right as I filmed my video saying, you know, there are no updates, but here's what happened when BuzzFeed was asked about Dear David. I said, watch it. It's gonna happen tonight, and it happened. So, hello my loves. I'm gonna turn down my lights just a little bit. Hello my loves, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Hi, hello, my name is Loey, and it's almost like I'm getting psychic or something with predicting the Dear David updates. No, I'm just kidding. I think that it was kind of the end of the cycle. It had been, I think, 12 or 13 days. It's been 13 days actually since Dear David had updated. So there is an update, and I can easily say that this is the craziest, scariest, most mind-blowing update to this point. I'm kind of in shock that this update is as crazy as it is. I mean, these pictures are just amazing and insane and a lot, and we're gonna go through the update and then I'll kind of conclude with my own personal thoughts on these photos and what they mean for the story. Sorry for the long break. I haven't been feeling great the past couple weeks and I haven't had time to update. Thread. Every time I see the word thread in parentheses, like, I just start losing my mind. There also wasn't much to say for the most part. I wasn't sleeping well and I was having weird dreams, but they were vague and hard to describe. I'm sleepy all day long and I've been getting sudden bouts of dizziness. I chalked it up to always having earbuds crammed in and made a mental note to get my ears checked. I don't understand. He didn't say anything about his ears, but now he's talking about his ears. That's weird. I wonder if a tweet was missing or something. Other than that, things were pretty quiet. I sort of fooled myself into thinking that finding those items in the attic somehow ended all of this. Not that that would make much sense. But last week, something started to happen. Late on Wednesday, I woke up with a start and felt something strange, like something had just been watching me. I turned on the light, but I was alone. Still, there was a tangible feeling of badness. Everything felt wrong, sort of like when you have the flu and you wake up at night and can't really tell where you are for a minute. It was a feeling I'm used to. It always accompanies David. People tweet at me a lot saying he might just need help, but I'm certain that's not the case. Every time he shows up, I feel a palpable sense of malice. There's what I felt that night. Malice. Dread. But still, I was alone. And I was so tired, I wound up just going back to sleep. I've been so exhausted recently that I can barely function. The next night, the same thing happened. I woke up suddenly, feeling like I had just missed seeing something. Like a candle had just gone out and I could still smell it. I thought about using the pet cam from the living room to monitor my bedroom while I slept, but the cord was too short to get the camera high enough to see the entire room. So I improvised. I downloaded an app that takes a photo every 60 seconds and I set my phone on top of a bookcase. It's almost 7 feet tall, so it has a pretty good view of my bed and the surrounding room. Then I went to sleep. Just like before, I jolted awake hours later, feeling the same unease. I turned on the light and hurried out of bed to get my phone from the bookcase. There were probably 350 photos to scroll through. Sorry if my eye just went a little bit crazy. My mascara is sticking today for some reason. Whew. The vast majority of them were me sleeping in an empty room. It's sort of dark, but you can see me sleeping. I'd left a couple of night lights on just in case anything showed up, but for the first 100 or so photos, it was just me in an empty room. And without any caption whatsoever, there he is. David is back and he is sitting, what is that? Is it a small couch? It looks like a small love seat or something in Adam's room. Then suddenly he was there, standing on the chair at the foot of the bed, staring at me. In the next photo from a minute later, he seems to be staring straight up at the ceiling, just staring. This one really weirds me out. Like, his face almost looks blank as he's looking up at the ceiling, and I'm probably wrong. It probably is just like a trick of the eye, but it's creepy. Then he appears to collapse on the chair. The next dozen photos are all the same. He's completely lifeless. At first, I thought he was dead, which obviously doesn't make any sense. I looked over at the chair, half expecting him to still be there, but it was empty. It is really strange to see him slumped over like that. It's really, really, really eerie. But then in the next photo, he's gone. The room is totally empty again. He's gone in the next several photos too. I figured maybe that was it, but I kept swiping through the photos. About 15 photos later, he was back, standing next to the bed, and it was just like the last time I saw him. That's when my heart started to race. I didn't want to look at the rest of the photos, but I knew I had to. I swiped to the next photo, and my heart sank into my stomach. He was on the bed, inches from me, staring down at me, sleeping. The next one was worse. In the next photo, he's staring right at the camera. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have chills, legitimate chills looking at this photo. After that, there's seemingly nothing. He disappears again, and the rest of the scroll is just me alone in my room again. That is until the last photo. Here's the final photo on the scroll. I'm at a loss for words. That malformed ear, that stringy hair, I didn't even know what to think. I looked all over my room, but couldn't find anything. And honestly, I've been so exhausted, I didn't know how to process it. Even now, all I want to do is just go to sleep. The photos are crazy. I kind of thought there wouldn't be any more photos of David after the first round, and people were like, is this a doll? Like, it looks really weird. I will say there's a lot of consistency in the way that David is looking, and I've received kind of a mixed opinion from you guys. Half of you are like, this is real, and he is like so tired of this and so like desensitized that he probably doesn't even think it's a big deal anymore. And then the other half of you is like, that's a doll, this is totally fake. When I approach this as like an alternate reality game, as like a creepypasta told through Twitter, I enjoy it so much more. I don't know what's happening, but when I look at it as like a creepypasta and me getting updates to my favorite story, I personally enjoy the story so much more. So that's how I look at it. But in terms of the story, in terms of David, it does seem like he's angry almost. I might have to do another Dear David conspiracy theory video coming up, but in terms of him looking up at the ceiling then slumping over, it's almost like, in my opinion, and this is just my theory, maybe he was like looking up at the ceiling to signify, you know how Adam had gotten his things is kind of what we're thinking anyways, from the attic, the shoe, the marble, whatever. Maybe it was like he was looking up at it, realized that they were gone, and like slumped over, like his things were gone, and he was just not distraught, but like weaker almost. In that photo, he looks weak. He looks like a rag doll. He might be a rag doll, but he looks like a rag doll in that photo. You know what I mean? He looks like defeated. And that's just my personal opinion, and that's just my personal theory. So Adam saged his place and did like a blessing and all of that few months, maybe like a month or two ago now. And when he did, David was seen outside his apartment, right? We saw that photo of David standing outside. He brought David's items into his home, and now David is more powerful and can like do more. I don't really know. I'm not gonna lie to you, I go back and forth with what David's intentions are. At first, like, I thought maybe it was some sort of paranormal game and like anyone could see David if they did the Dear David game, you know, and now it really does seem like Adam is trying to say, no, this is a thing that's haunting me and only me. This is a dead boy in my apartment. So I do think that Adam bringing the items into his home has like welcomed David in a way. And David honestly just, maybe it was just me and maybe like he doesn't look mad in the photos, but I just felt like anger, if that makes any sense. Like he's mad about something. So maybe he's angry that the items were taken. Maybe he still holds a grudge against Adam for like kicking him out of the apartment. I don't really know. That's just kind of where I personally stand on it though, and I could be totally off base. This was probably a pretty quick update. I just didn't want to wait like 2 weeks or 3 weeks even. He might not come back until after Christmas. I didn't want to wait for the next update because this was pretty significant, and I think one of my next Vlogmas videos, I want to read all of Dear David from start to here because I do think it's somewhat interesting to see the way that this story has progressed. And I actually read all of the tweets again the other day and I was like, whoa, like the story is so interesting when you read it from front to back. I was going to do it like a while ago, and then Sniper Wolf did a video on it, so I was like, crap, I can't do this anymore. But a lot of you guys on Twitter told me to do it anyway, so I might still do it. But yeah, I think that's where we end off on Dear David. Let me know your theories down below. Once again, I'm no longer tearing this apart and saying, this looks real, this looks fake, because for me, I'm just trying to enjoy the story at this point. So I hope you all enjoyed this quick little Dear David update. I was going to upload my hour and a half almost makeup collection video today, but this took priority. So tomorrow I'll have a makeup collection, and then I don't know, we'll be back on Friday for something totally different. But I hope you guys are enjoying Vlogmas. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Please make sure that you're following Adam Ellis on Twitter if you have Twitter, if you have social media. No matter what, he's writing such an interesting story that hundreds of thousands of us are so obsessed with, and I just want to make sure he's getting tons and tons of support for that. But I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.